If you own a Husqvarna Viking Amber Air S400 or a Pfaff Admire Air 5000 air-jet threaded sergers, we are going through the accessory feet that come in the Embellishment foot kit. And there's actually quite a few feet in here, so make sure you check out all the links below. We're going to link to all the feet, but in this video we are focusing on the two sizes of cording feet that come in this kit, and I'm going to show you two totally different things that you can do with it. Also in this kit are the two sizes of piping feet and the beading foot and guide. So all sorts of good feet that come with this. Plus, don't forget that there is actually a second foot set. They are called the utility foot kits, and we'll be going through those feet and videos as well. So what are we talking about for cording feet? Now, that's a term that is sometimes like, is it more piping or is it cording? Well, it is kind of a generic term, but the cool part about this for a serger is a cording foot is going to have some type of hole or guide in it. The larger size has a hole here, and I'm going to show you some great ways that we can stabilize stretchy seams. And then my favorite one is actually the one with the smaller hole or guide right here. This is the one I like to use with wire or even like fishing line to really add some body to the edge of fabric. So for example, here inside this, there is actually fishing line. So if I was going to tie this up into a bow, it's going to stay where I put it. So it's kind of like French ribbon by the yard. So I'm going to show you both and what they are capable of doing. So for this technique, we have removed the left needle and removed the left thread. So I only have a right needle, a narrow size, and we're going to start with just a regular 3-thread overlock with the narrow setting. So to change feet, lift up the presser foot, touch the little button in the back, let it kind of snap off. I sometimes lift up the presser foot just to give it a little bit more room. And let's start with the larger one first. Now there's lots of different ways that you can use this foot. Just slide it underneath and then lower the foot down. If it doesn't click on all the way, either give it a little wiggle or touch the button in the back. So I'm going to lift this up because I'm going to be taking kind of a soutache braid thickness of cord, and I'm actually going to feed it up that little hole and then slide it underneath the presser foot. So this is a very stable cord. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how you could stabilize knits with it. And here I'm going to be sewing on the bias and then showing you that we can make something not have any give after we serge it in place. So let's just go ahead. And I'm going to just fold my fabric diagonally. And if you've ever stitched, you know that that is a very stretchy seam. After you've pulled the cord a little bit to the back, go ahead and slide your fabric underneath and then lower it in place. Again, we're going to cut off just a little bit, but you're going to notice that the needle's just going to barely encase this cord. It's going to keep it in the perfect position to really give it that nice stability. I have the stitch length a little short, so I'm going to lengthen it a little longer. We're going to stitch that in place. And then again, if you had more pieces to cord, you would just keep on stitching. I'm going to just use my scissors though to cut that in and separate it. But look, I can't even pull that anymore. It is completely stable once I've added that cord to that seam. So no more stretching out. So how about we just kind of migrate to the other foot, since there's two sizes that come with the machine, and we'll just kind of cut that off. Lift up the presser foot, touch the button in the back, the foot slides out, and then as we place this underneath, I sometimes again lift up that foot and then lower it, touch the button to click it in place. So if you've ever wanted to add wire or fishing line to an edge, you're probably wanting to get something that's sturdy but not too like stiff. So I'm a fan of a 28 gauge brass wire. And before I put the foot on, I actually take the wire or fishing line. By the way, you want a 25-pound test fishing line. That's how they get those real fun curls on the edges of like a netting, and they have those fun looks. So feed it down the little hole first and then put the foot in place. Give it a little lift to help kind of find itself underneath where you need to set it down. Click the button in the back and it will hold it in place. So the benefit of that little hole is that it will keep it centered between the knife and the needle. We are going to set this now for a rolled hem, so I'm going to pull the little stitch finger back, turn this part to tight, and give the lower looper just a little bit of turn. I usually don't need to do that, but I'm going to just do it because I'm so used to doing that. So now I'm going to shorten the stitch length down, and we're going to just stitch. Now here's one little trick about wire or fishing line is make sure you hold on to it or give it a little bit of a crimp, and then that way it won't come finding its way out as you're stitching it. You might need to just help it come out the back side just a little bit, just so it doesn't gather up while you stitch. And I don't know why, but I always feel like I need to hold the wire, even though I don't. So I'm going to just let it go and not worry about it, and just do a little rolled hem along the edge of the fabric. So when I get to the end, have some little wire cutters close by. This wire is usually fine enough. I can just twist and it will come right out, and then I can just continue stitching right over the top of the wire until it is out of the machine. Now look at this edge. It is totally manageable, bendable, and be able to be placed in any shape you wish it to stay in. That is the beauty of the 2 cording feet that come with the embellishment feet kit for either the Husqvarna Viking Amber Air S400 or the Pfaff Admire Air 5000. Now remember, we have tons of free tutorials on these machines, everything from how to thread it, how to clean it, all the stitches that it can do. So make sure you check out the links below or at the end of this video.